at heart, do you consider yourself more of an artist or entrepreneur, or is there even a difference between both?
That's a great question. I think I wouldn't class myself as an artist in the way that, I don't make music, having been a bass player. And the other thing with being a bass player compared to a lot of other artists, I feel like I can say this, but I don't want to speak for all bass players, but it isn't the most creative instrument compared to melodic instruments. So,
Well, Thundercat might think differently. Thundercat might have a different opinion on that. So.
Absolutely. I'm sure there are guys out there who just take it to the nth degree.
Right,
but, from my point of view, playing bass, plodding along, doing the thing. And so I feel like when it comes to, I would never class myself as an entrepreneur. I would love it if someone classed me as an entrepreneur, but at the same point, I would never. I think that word entrepreneur is almost like saying good looking, isn't it? Where if someone says, well, I'm very good looking, you kind of go, you can't say that. If someone else can say
really?
About you.
Okay, interesting.
Because I feel like, I like creating things. I like building things, whether it's building a college or an online education platform, whether it's building a band, whether it's building an album, whether it's working together on a project.
Yeah.
I think I just like building stuff. And so I would class myself as just someone who just likes to create. And that my version of creation isn't music. My version of creation is just building either a business or, or something similar to that.
Would you say that the music business is just as much an art as the music itself?
100%. Yeah, the music business is exactly that. And so we are in this very delicate time where if you look at, because the music industry is not particularly that old. If you look at the music industry as such has been going since, some people will say 100 years, but realistically from that kind of 1950s, 1960s period, let's say kind of Elvis, the Beatles-ish kind of era.
Yeah.
So you're talking about an industry which is 70-ish, 75 years old, which as an industry is pretty young. And so if you look at all of the differences that have happened over the last, say, even 50 years, I mean, we're talking about things that are happening over the last 10, but we've gone from different mechanical things like vinyl, cassettes, CDs, MP3s, everything keeps changing all of the time. Record labels are changing. Now we're in this kind of streaming world. You've got social media. Social media wasn't there 20 years ago. No. If you look at concert ticket prices now compared to where they were, navigating the whole thing is an absolute art form. And so, I see my job as, this isn't about saying I have music, how do I promote the music? This is about the overall architecture of an ecosystem of a brand, of building a brand. And the brand is you and your music. And the difference between an artist and a label is an artist wants to promote music, whereas a label wants to use the music to promote the brand. So it's using the music to build something, which is a slight difference to an artist just saying, I just want to get this heard. And so if you can use the music to build something, then you can monetize it in many, many different ways.
Interesting.
And so the message of the artist, the creative, the content, the music, the skill, all of that sort of filters around this ecosystem. And so if we only think of the music, then it's kind of like if we went into a boxing match and we had one punch, you just think, well, this has to be the best punch I've ever thrown, and I have to connect 100%. And I have to hope that when I do connect, it does the job, because I've got nothing left. Whereas if we're thinking of this as how we bring value to an audience, how we bring people in, how we look after them, how we deliver value in music and content and a connection between the two, if we can do all of those things, at that point, now it isn't one big punch. Now we're looking at how the whole game works, all of the jabs, all of the moves, all of the big punches, everything together fits, how everything fits together as an ecosystem. So I think the whole thing is pure art. And so, and I think nowadays what's amazing, as we've gone into micro content with TikTok, Reels and YouTube Shorts, especially TikTok, who sort of really launched this sort of micro content.
Right.
You're seeing artists now who have got millions, like literally millions of followers, from 7 to 15-second pieces of content.
Yeah.
And the way they're using that 15-second piece of content might be original music, it might be covers, it might be trends,
Right.
it might be just fun things.